Good evening. I'm Pawnee, bringing you some old fashioned healing methods from Mama's Chronicles. Before I forget, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps, and I really appreciate it. Let's get started. So, today I want to talk about some important winter healing and comfort methods. One thing most of us appreciate in the winter is a nice, yummy hot drink. But there are some other things that happen in winter that might call for a little more than just a nice hot drink. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. So, my first thing I want to point out here, number one, apple pie cider vinegar. This is a hot drink. I'm going to give you a quick recipe. I'll try to post it also in the comments below. It's a great recipe and it tastes just like hot apple pie. So, uh, apple cider vinegar, known as ACV, is a nutrient powerhouse. ACV has countless health benefits like heartburn relief, skin benefits, digestive aid. Apple cider vinegar contributes to a better metabolism. Your skin's more clear. It detoxifies you. It helps you lose weight. Hello. It balances your pH. It's great for blood sugar control. And this is a delicious hot drink. So you can have this hot drink if you're dealing with a cold or to even just maintain your health. Sip this hot cider drink steaming in the morning or before bed. It might taste a bit strong, so sweeten your apple cider a little bit. This recipe is plenty sweet, so you just take this down. Here it is. Here are the ingredients. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I use Bragg's myself. 2 tablespoons of apple juice. I don't use cheap apple juice. I use a good organic apple juice. 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to just kind of sprinkle that to taste. That's not for a big, heavy. So you can use 3 or 4 drops of liquid vanilla stevia and 2 cups of boiling water. I just put mine in a big 12-ounce mug. I don't require the full 16, so I just make mine about 12 ounces, but you can make a jar full. Anyway, I like this drink hot because it helps my sugar cravings, okay? And it turns my craving into a healing moment, which is awesome. I You can take all of those ingredients, you mix them all together, heat them up, make sure they're nice and hot. If your hot water has cooled down, just heat it just a minute in the microwave, it'll be fine. I also like to use a dash of cayenne and Manuka honey for a nice change. Just leave out the apple juice when you do that. It's great for comforting your cold and perfect for a sore throat. You can add 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger instead of the apple juice for a great tasty detox. It's pretty awesome. You just stir the ingredients together and sip this drink steaming in the morning or before bed. It's also really good over ice. Some people really like icy drinks, and I like them in the summer, but in the winter, I want a nice hot drink. Okay, so let's talk about this. There's something depression, depression and the weather. So, could you have what they call a seasonal affective disorder? I know I thought it was a little overboard, but I really started reading about it. It's quite interesting and something I think we all kind of get into. If the long winter nights are making you feel tired, crabby, out of sorts, well, you might just have seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD. And I'm saying, right? SAD sounds right. It's a type of clinical depression that starts in the fall and winter and lasts all the way until spring. And it affects about 5% of adults in the US. I think that number is higher. I see a lot of people going through this, and it's a heck of a lot more than any 5%. In my opinion, it's much higher than 5%. It has all the same signs and symptoms as regular depression. This is stated by Kelly Rohan, a PhD, a professor of psychological science at the University of Vermont. He says the only difference between the seasonal pattern it follows is, yeah, see, the only difference is that it follows the seasonal pattern. I messed up there. Okay, she says the average SAD episode lasts for about 5 months and it comes back year after year with varying intensity. It can be really bad sometimes. And it takes a serious toll on people who are dealing with it. This may be why we see so many so called snowbirds. See, a lot of people travel to warmer spots like Phoenix, which is when the folks leave cold, wintry places and live in warm, even tropical places for the winter. They literally emotionally feel better. Okay. Well, let's look at exactly what SAD is. I mean, lots of people feel a little down during the winter months. You know, they're stuck at home, icy roads, freezing temperatures. That's enough to bring anybody down. But for many people, a mild case of the winter blues turns into a full fledged state of heavy, deep depression. This is some of the symptoms that they experience: very low energy, in fact, in the state of exhaustion, sadness, completely overwhelmed with sadness, loss of interest in their favorite activities, like they seriously don't want to get out of bed, changes in appetite. So either they eat way too much food or no food at all. So they have different sleep patterns. Either they're always sleeping or literally their sleep, they have literal sleep deprivation. They have fuzzy thinking or poor concentration, kind of almost mindless. They have feelings of guilt and worthlessness and take on self hatred. Rather than feeling a little less social, they have thoughts of death and suicide. Well, low energy is the universal symptom, says the doctor, who specializes in researching this and treating SAD. I've never met anyone with SAD, she said, who isn't tired all of the time as part of their seasonal depression. So that's one thing that they all have in common. A key in the shortage of sunshine, light seems to be a trigger, she said, which makes sense to me. Starting around October, shorter days mean less sunlight, which affects your body's internal clock, when to be awake and when to be asleep. It's also connected to your body's production of hormones, like the chemical messenger. This is good now. The chemical messenger that tells your body what to do and when to do it. One of these hormones is melatonin, which your body makes to help you feel sleepy at bedtime. In other words, when it's dark. Levels rise in the evening to tell you it's time to go to sleep, and it drops in the morning to help you wake up. But in the winter, when it gets dark at 5 and it gets light at 7 a.m., or when it's light until 10 p.m. and gets light at 5, the body may still be releasing melatonin or may not even begin releasing until long after it's time for you to go to bed. and may still be releasing the melatonin when it's time to wake up. So, your alarm's going off. There's a mismatch between the biological and actual. So, yeah. So, I call this being out of balance. Anybody that knows me knows I use that phraseology. We have to stay in balance. God made us to be in balance all the time. And balance doesn't mean 50-50. Balance generally, nearly always, means 3-1. 3 good guys, 1 bad guy. In this particular case, I did not investigate the values, but I will now. Okay. I'm not the only one so I'm just mentioning this. I can't be the only one who's hearing the birds tweeting at 3 a.m. So what this tells me is we are not the only ones that are out of balance. Our animals are as well. When I hear little birds tweeting at 3 a.m., we have a problem, people. Okay? Research shows that with less sunlight, your body may produce less serotonin. Oh, this is good. That's the feel good brain chemical that helps regulate your mood. You know, the one that's getting out of hand. So, without the melatonin and the serotonin, we're looking at more widespread anger and depression as a result of those two chemicals not being in balance. Okay? That's pretty harsh. And we do have, and we're seeing a lot of anger and fits and I'm not talking about children, I'm talking about adults. And and that's not just because we're all spoiled. We have something happening and it's a chemical thing. Well, I say this. I say grab some healing comfort when you can in the winter months. A hot, yummy drink, a warm sauna session, a wonderful soak in a delightful mineral bath, and you'll find yourself pulling out of a depressed state. So, if you find yourself in that depressed state or you're angry, and we all get this way on occasion, friend, call a friend, rant for a minute. It might do you good. And more importantly, dwell on the good things in life. Take the rest and set it on the shelf. If you want it, you can go back later. If not, leave it, friend. Always turn to a friend. They let you rant. Real friends let you rant. Just for a minute. Okay? All right. Thank you for joining me today, dear friends. I enjoy our time together. I do hope what I've said today gave you something to ponder. Remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel. And until we meet again, friend, I'm Mama, and these are my chronicles. Good night, beloved.